Alright, so here we are in the totally normal town. We're just going to talk to everybody here. They're all doing real great. Okay, cool. That's not ominous at all.
Alright, child.
Oh, a Pokemon straight up died. Okay, so we're just in the Pokemon Center and we're 0 to 100, huh?
And you said Pokemon Adventures was edgy.
So yeah, here's Lavender Town. It's the spooky town, because Team Rocket's done a lot of murders on top of the fact that there's just a tower that's a graveyard, which should be nice, but no. Lavender Town is apparently based on Narita City or Sakura City in real world.
Do they also have a Tower of Graves?
You know, I don't know much about either location.
There's something deeply unsettling about a Tower of Graves.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit.
Because, I don't know if they're just, gravestones, just markers, or if they're actually, corpses buried there. Because I do not like the idea of there being corpses above me and corpses below me.
It's a little unsettling. Would it make you feel any better in the case that it were cremation?
I mean, it's still a corpse, it's just in a different form. Dusty corpse or solid corpse, still a corpse.
It technically less threatening in the form of zombies, but
Right.
still very unsettling in a metaphysical sense.
Right.
Alright, are we talking about this specific Cubone? Is this the grieving Cubone that we've heard about? I don't know what that means, but I'm going to assume that it is indeed grieving right now, so we will avenge you eventually.
Hey, now I know how to say I miss my mom in Cuba.
Anyway, here's the name raider in Lavender Town of all places. He's just here. Hey, come to the gravesite if you want to change the name of your Pokemon.
God, but he's not the name changer, he's the name raider, which is super fucked up because that means he goes to the gravestone and leaves ratings out of 10 on all the names.
This name sucks.
Just writes them on the gravestone in Sharpie.
This one would be better. Thank you very much.
Oh, did this one die on August 10th? No, that name is an 8 out of 10 name.
God. This man's very insensitive. Nobody likes him. They petitioned to kick him out of town, but the authorities can't catch him.
The cops go to arrest him, he just says, your name sucks, and they go home.
Officer Jenny? More like Officer, I don't know, Lila? And then they just disappear from existence because only people named Jenny can be cops.
I want a version of that, but they don't disappear from existence. They just their handcuffs just vanish. Oh no, now I'm an electrician, damn it! Oh hey, it's the line.
Ooh, no, it's a ghost.
I don't remember if this was faked or not, but apparently in Pokemon Origins, they do that scene, and there is actually a white hand drawn on Red's shoulder.
I feel like that would be legitimate. Pokemon does actually like its ghost scenes nowadays.
I only ever saw a screen cap of it, so I don't want to say, unequivocally, this is real. It's this could have very easily been faked.
Really do need to watch that at some point. I only know about that one horrifying moment where Squirtle bites a Charmander. And it just screams. Alright, so if we enter the Pokemon Tower, apparently there are spirits that are up to no good, starting to make trouble in this neighborhood. However, before we even get to them, here's this jerk. Hey, Hideki.
I can't help but notice that there are some gravestones that are they're in an area so dense you actually can't see them. So,
They didn't pay enough.
It sucks to be the family of that guy, I guess.
So, here's Hideki with that new sprite he's had since the boat, and now he's got the Pidgeotto as usual. Pidgeotto, still fairly tough. Still likes gusting ya. Also has Whirlwinds, you know, just in case it wants to toss you out of battle. I often get the two moves mixed up. Gust, however, is not really threatening, especially since it's flying type, so good luck doing anything to a rock. Alright, so of course, here's his starter. He's got his Ivysaur.
Oh, I just learned today that Geodude was the mascot of a prefecture in Japan, but I can't remember which prefecture. I just know that the prefecture's name means rock hands.
Neat. And there's also one thing I should know about this team is his team's actually starting to differ a little bit depending on what your starter is. It's mostly the same. Of course, he's always got his Pidgeotto, he's got whatever his starter is. He's gonna have that Kadabra, you can't stop him from having that. However, he has a Gyarados if you started with Squirtle or Bulbasaur. And he also has a Growlithe if you start with Charmander or Squirtle. And lastly, he can have a Pokemon called Execute if you start with Charmander or Bulbasaur. So, bit of team variance to sort of make up for, you know, whatever he might not have had before.
Right, so whichever starter type he picked, he gets the other two starter types.
Yep. So, you know, he may be a jerk, but he does make sure to have some bases covered.
I think he does, or not him, but the rival in Let's Go does that. I think with slightly different Pokemon. I can't really remember.
Anyway, here's Gyarados. Gyarados is actually a little bit threatening at this point.
Today is gonna be the day where you have to fight a Gyarados.
So, yeah, Gyarados has a pretty major weakness, being water and flying type. Thankfully, it doesn't have any water-type moves at the moment, because otherwise Candy wouldn't be in a very good position here. Crit really helped, though.
I was wondering what you were doing. Like, this is the worst idea, no!
It's fine, it's flying type, so we've got partial effectiveness, but if you have an electric type by this point, an electric type will just, well, blow Gyarados out of the water. That being said, do not underestimate Gyarados normally, especially in Gen 1, Gyarados had a very specific use for a typing we haven't really encountered much of yet. And here's Kadabra. Everybody's least favorite. Oh my god, he bent a spoon! God, I love that animation.
But a different spoon.
Oh my god, that spoon bending was so amazing, I just can't hit him as well anymore.
Hideki is just carrying around a silverware drawer filled with spoons.
He's ruined so many spoons on this journey. You don't even need to ruin that many spoons, Kadabra. You really don't need to lower accuracy that often. Alright, and his last Pokemon, of course, is his Growlithe. So you might have noticed that Hideki's kind of missing a Pokemon that he had, you know, the last few times. He used to have Raticate, now he doesn't, because we kicked it into the sea. Some people theorize that Raticate is just straight up dead at this point. Personally, I just think it's Raticate, so Hideki was like, yeah, nah. See, it's actually on a PC upstate. It's fine.
Some people point to the fact that Hideki is only carrying around 5 Pokemon instead of a full 6 to mean that, like, something happened to that Raticate and recently. Except looking at that, it means that he caught the Cubone and decided not to use it, so never mind. He is carrying a full 6 Pokemon, he just only used 5.
He has the potential for 6 Pokemon, he just likes to leave his options open. So anyway, I would like to explore a little bit more, so let's remove that poison.
I'm sorry, that animation of Drowsy just leaping towards the screen was really uncomfortable and funny.
Here comes Baku, here to tell you to not fuck. And also eat your dreams, I guess. So, we can't enter higher parts of the tower, but there's a little bit of a thing about that, which we'll see in a moment, except, the RNG actually decided to be kind to me here, so I didn't get into an encounter as quickly as I thought I would. And pay no mind to the fact that I'm purposefully not walking into the gaze of these NPCs. So anyway, here we go. If you get into a random encounter, you'll get one of these instead. Oh darn, ghosts can't be ID'd.
This ghost's gonna have a lot of trouble if it tries to buy alcohol.
So yeah, you can't do anything against ghosts, so just run away. So clearly we really can't do anything here just yet, so our first visit to Lavender Town really didn't accomplish much.
This is the worst idea you've had. You can't dig in a graveyard.
No, I can't easily. So, with that done, we at least managed to beat Hideki, but we do have to move on to the next route. So, here's one of these gamers.
I'm a Raymond gaming dude.
Gamer Rich would like to battle. He's got a Growlithe.
I refuse to believe this girl is intimidating. Look at him.
What if he does a little bark? Banking on fire types, huh, Rich? Didn't work, Rich. My friend, my pal, my buddy. Well, okay then. I'll leave you to that. And we're immediately going to go to this grassy area over here. So, if you're playing Pokemon Leaf Green version, the Pokemon you can find here is the new one rather, is Vulpix. There's more than one, but the rest are ones we've seen before. But of course, in FireRed, you get the best Pokemon, Growlithe.
Ooh.
There should be absolutely no question that I'm definitely going to be adding Growlithe to my main team.
I think I mentioned I didn't really have a main team per se in my Let's Go run, but I did have Growlithe / Arcanine on my team as often as I could.
Yep, Growlithe's good.
Growlithe is my go-to fire type.
I mainly like Growlithe because of, it's one of, other than Geodude, it's one of the earlier Pokemon that I sort of acknowledged in that, a friend of mine had Pokemon cards, and I don't think either of us really knew how to play the Pokemon trading card game.
A very common experience.
I did see the Growlithe card. It's one of the first ones I got. I was instantly attached because it's adorable. And yeah, just since then, Growlithe. Even if it wasn't a good Pokemon, I'd probably still use Growlithe, but it's kind of up there in terms of Pokemon people like. It's pretty solid.
And in Gen 1 and again in Let's Go, it's actually pretty high tier?
Mm-hmm. Alright, so we're going to name this Growlithe Char.
Char.
So, actually, typically I usually go specifically for female Growlithes, even though they're a little more rare, and I usually name them Din, like the Zelda goddess. Just a fun fact for you there. Also back there, this Growlithe has a Brave nature. Brave increases attack, decreases speed. Growlithe should have enough speed to sort of offset that decrease, but it's still not ideal. Attack's not the best for it either, but, it's not a bad nature at all.
Also, Brave is a really good nature for a dog.
Mm-hmm.
Here comes Char.
So yeah, Char, of course, is gonna need a little bit of time to catch up. How dare you try to double slap me? Which is why I skipped this initial trainer right here, and for crying out loud, why would you do that to me? How dare you? But yeah, of course, Char really wouldn't have done well against that gamer since he had 2 fire types. Actually, I used to give my Growlithe Dig, which would have actually been decent. But, you know, Dig's a TM, I gave it to Gateau, so oh well.
Minimize is such a weird move, like in concept to me.
Surprise, my Pokemon can get smaller.
Especially because, like, how many different types of Pokemon can learn it.
Yeah, like, certain ones that are just made of goo, okay, I can see Minimize, but, like, Clefairy, how?
Mm-hmm. That's another one of the weird combos. Stomp does a lot more damage on Pokemon that use Minimize.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Man.
I need to, like, drag out Pokemon Stadium 2 or whichever one talked about all that. Because I think that may have been added in Gen 2, and then they just stopped.
They just stopped. They done with ideas for that. Peaked to Gen 2, couldn't figure out any other uses for moves other than just what it says on the tin.
No hidden combos.
It is useful in double battles, which I don't think we've seen any of yet. They do add some to FireRed. Of course, in Gen 1, double battles didn't exist. They do add a few, but it's much later on for some reason. Hello, scientist. How dare you? Also, how dare you imply I need strategy? I'll never use strategy. And Sludge is a really dangerous move because of how much damage it can do. It's normally pretty powerful, but Char's not at a great level either, if that doesn't help at all. And Muck, of course, just a more powerful version of Grimer, so not even gonna risk it here.
It looks like it should be voiced by Kevin Michael Richardson. Just a really deep, scary voice.
Spooky, scary skeletons.
Or that would be amazing also. Grimer is voiced by Kevin Michael Richardson, and Muck has that voice.
Also, I'm glad Muck just punched itself in the face, taking itself out instantly. Oh hey, Headbutt, this would actually be a pretty good move for Mira, considering her good physical attack. So this might make the foe flinch, but I'm kinda using everything else, so I don't really need Headbutt. This does not take into account my nature. I made movesets before I actually knew how good the Pokemon would be using them.
It is weird now that Pokemon has had 3D models in the mainline games for so long. It's weird not seeing Pokemon react at all to being put to sleep.
I'm still as happy as can be! Grimer is just shouting Z over and over again. And that's Super Nerd Glenn. Get Baku'd, nerd. Well, we'll just leave him to consider whatever he's considering and move on. Oh, hey, this should be a double battle. Alright, so, now that you know the move Follow Me exists, maybe they'll actually try to use it. Indeed, we've got a Clefairy on the field. So, yeah, this is our first double battle. The first and second Pokemon on your list will be the ones sent out, so pretty obvious choice. The Pokemon that can actually do a lot of damage, and the Pokemon that I want to give experience.
Just immediately smack this Clefairy. Just get out of here.
We will not, in fact, be seeing Follow Me be put to any sort of use.
I wish that Clefairy did use Follow Me to redirect an attack, though. Just, hey guys, come from here! Ah!
Oh no, this went poorly. Also, I forget if I've mentioned it before, but Burn also cuts your attack power, which was pretty good back there when the Clefairy was using Double Slap, since that's a multi-hit move. Wouldn't have done that much damage anyway, but against Char, well, still wouldn't have been great for me. Also, one annoying thing is, both these characters actually have unique dialogue for starting and ending of fights. However, you can only hear one at a time. That's fixed in pretty much any other Pokemon game with double battles, in which both the trainers will actually say their line at the starts.
Never noticed how gleeful a lot of the poison Pokemon were.
Yeah, they're just all having a good time. Coffin sure does love being a horrible ball of gas. Can't say the same thing about Wheezing. Well, you did indeed kick my ass. Guess I'll never fight again. Okay, so apparently they're just keeping everyone out, including students.
Also, what the hell is this line?
The line that's waiting to get into Saffron, but also it patterned, I guess?
Also patterned, also not actually right outside the gate.
They want to keep their distance. It would look a little bit awkward if they were right out there. Make them look like they actually wanted to go to school. Like a bunch of nerds, but they're not nerds, except Leslie, who is very explicitly a nerd. And considering the opening line of dialogue, it shouldn't surprise you that we have another Nidoran, but, you know, with an A at the end instead.
I don't know what it is. It's like a lot of people are just vaguely unsettled by any Pokemon that stands on its hind legs.
You know, oddly enough, the Nidoran final evolutions don't bother me as much as certain other Pokemon in this game that just stand on their hind legs and look like people. But I might be biased because I do really like using Nidoqueen. Anyway, guess what this lady has? Ah, dang, I thought it was going to be a Snubble.
Zagonya. Nothing like being thrown into a fight and immediately getting smacked with $1.
Somebody just throws their bus tokens at you. Well, not great.
This is the real Super Monkey Ball. Just beating the shit out of these cats.
Well, alright then. Those Pokemon are okay. Not enough for me to actually use them, but you know.
Well, darn.
Well, looks like Game Freak figured out that people might be asking about this line, preempted ya. So I guess the previous trainer was just like, oh yeah, Pigeon and Rattata are okay too, I guess, just to please your friend here. My best friend uses these Pokemon. How dare you crit my friend's Rattata? Oh, buddy, when my Meowths get back up, they're so going to beat you up.
I don't know why I have such vivid memories of Pokemon Stadium 2.
I mean, why wouldn't you? Well, at least Pikachu knows what to do in this situation. Also, I am faster than a Pikachu. Gato, how do you do it? What a jerk. I acknowledge that he is indeed the gatekeeper, and can lawfully keep me out, but, on the other hand, come on, my man. Oh, is this the first biker we're fighting?
I believe so.
Bikers typically use poison-type Pokemon. They might use dark-type Pokemon as well if those were really in this game, but they're not, so poison-type.
Yeah, I was just about to say, because dark-type Pokemon don't exist yet.
They're rough, tough dudes, so it's just poison for a bit. But once Dark-type gets properly introduced, you're in for it then.
That means that the, Hells Angels and the Super Nerds share Pokemon types in this game.
God.
I mean, the Super Nerds also use, Magnemites. I don't think any of them use a Porygon, but it's that same, Pokemon that responded to mankind's existence Pokemon. Whereas Bikers use specifically, horrible, awful poison types.
Just real gross Pokemon. The grossest you can think of.
Because they don't use, grass types or, Ekans or anything. They use just these disgusting creatures.
You'd think they would go for Ekans, because, it's tough because it's a snake, but yeah, I don't think they really do.
You'd think they use, Mankey, because it's just anger in a ball.
It is pretty much, this Pokemon has to be gross, because Grimer definitely isn't mad. Look at him.
Yeah, just... Grimer, we talked about this, you're supposed to look tough!
Booga booga booga!
No!
I'm very scared.
Grimer, you need to harden up.
Okay,
God damn it, not like that, you son of a bitch.
I'm made of steel now. Alright, now I'm tiny.
No! This is the opposite of what I need you to be doing.
Aren't the smallest things the most terrifying? Oh no, I've perished.
That's what you get for trying to run me over, you jerk. Alright, so now what's your deal? Much the same, I'm sure. Well, that's not my problem. Yep, and here we go with the coughings. Alright, T-minus 10 seconds before I get hit with sludge. Oh, poison gas. Is poison gas the one that is basically just, if you get hit by this, you get poisoned?
Yeah, it's Thunder Wave, but poison.
Yep. Thankfully, it's not quite as accurate as Thunder Wave.
And Fire has Will-O-Wisp, I think. That's Fire type, right? Or is that Ghost type?
I think it's Fire type. I remember it being that, but it's a move that ghosts use, I think is the case.
Yeah. That ought to be tempting you. That Odor Sleuth move. This route has been filled with Pokemon using Minimize.
Alright, I'm gonna figure out people's smells. On second thought, maybe I won't.
Yeah, a Will-O-Wisp is a type of ghost.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I thought it might have been ghost type. Weird that, electric moves just have an electric type that is a different type of electricity. It doesn't hurt you, but stuns you. And a similar thing for the poison moves. But fire needs to involve ghosts.
Yeah, weird. It has a very specific origin that's really not just tied to normal-ass fire.
Yeah, they couldn't have just made a move called Immolate or something. A move called Arson.
Here's a move that just burns down people's house.
Ponyta, the Arson Pokemon.
Oh, I've got a match. Don't mess with me.
God, as much shit as Pokemon got into in certain parts of the U.S., I could not imagine if Pokemon just had a move called Arson.
Here's my Pokemon move, Crime. It's Dark type.
I'm just trying to think of other Pokemon moves that would make rural Americans mad.
I don't know what this gay rights move does.
I guess just so we're clear, I grew up in southern Indiana. Like, I come from a rural place. That's why I'm upset about the rural reaction to Pokemon.
He's got experience.
Nothing like... Members of my family told me I was going to hell before they found out I was gay.
So anyway, Aiden has already directly insulted us and our chemistry grades, but I think my chemistry grade was, well, decent. Now, if he asked me about physics, oh boy, oh that didn't go well at all. Don't know why they required that in high school.
I gotta say, I'm not sure I understand why this game is tying into Beyond Two Souls. Or Watch Dogs. Take your pick of which Aiden/Aiden we're talking about.
Oh god. Neither one of them is pleasant. What if both your options were just bad?
So far, this guy's Pokemon theme just seems to be ball.
I've passed chemistry, therefore I know the best shape is orb?
Orb, the shape of chemistry. Remember when you had to build a molecule? It was orbs.
It's just orbs connected. Orb cannot be defeated. Also, it is so weird to just have a Voltorb that still has tackle. Just have a floating ball smack you in the face. I mean, I'll take it over Explosion, but still. And Magnemites. This one's sort of ball. It's just ball with magnets on side.
Just a ball and bits.
You can do things that aren't tackle, my dude. Aiden, come on. You can do better than that. Well, good for you. So, that gate to our left, of course, is one similar to the one we saw before that leads to Saffron City, but, you know, just like with that one, there's a thirsty guard there, so we can't pass him. Oh no, this guy stands gamers. He must be destroyed.
How are you slapping?
With its tail. 3 times. 4 times. 5
Christ.
times! That is very
5.
much not a double slap. How dare you?
5 slaps. I forget, have we talked about what Poliwags are based on?
I don't think so, no.
I forget the name of the tadpole, but it's a type of tadpole native to Japan with transparent skin on its belly, so you can see its guts, and they're in the shape of a spiral.
Ah, the Junji Ito Pokemon, perfect.
So that's why Poliwag has a spiral on its stomach.
Thankfully, that's just a design choice and not its organs.
Yeah, with Poliwag, it's just coloration. But yeah, I've seen like pictures of those tadpoles, and they're like, they look cool, but also if you like, they're like the sun, in that you shouldn't stare at them because you start to kind of lose your mind.
Again, Junji Ito.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's just gross. There's no like supernatural thing. It's just gross. We're having like the Pokemon based off of the Cordyceps fungus attacking a Pokemon whose intestines, like who's based on a frog whose intestines are visible. Like, this is the most fucked up fight you've had.
The really fucked up thing is Shiitake probably would prefer that version of the frog, honestly. It's easier access.
Oriole's just kind of a dopey looking Pokemon.
I came up short, probably because I stayed up all night playing Fortnite.
Welcome to Tilted Towers. And other such things that Neville has said in the Sonic 06 fandom.
Alright, so we have another underground path that also maybe has items? There's a map for it, but I didn't find anything when I checked for some, so I'm guessing they must appear later on in the game, which means you'll never get to see what items are here. Because I'm not coming back here unless I need to, and I don't think I need to, really? I might go through there again, but, like, not stopping for items. Alright, so no new Pokemon here, so we're not going to bother with the grass. Instead, we're going to go to Celadon City, and right off the bat we have a Team Rocket grunt right there, so oh boy, guess we're going to be getting right into it in the next episode, huh? So with that route cleared, next time on Pokemon FireRed, we're going to be taking it a bit easy and just exploring Celadon City. Because it's a big city. Gonna take a bit.
Bye.